Prescription drugs.
A prescription drug is a drug that can be obtained only by the means of a physician's prescription. Drugs are easy to get a handle of. The prescription drugs are commonly abused in the United States fall under opioids, narcotics, pain reliever, depressants, and stimulants. Some examples of opioids and narcotics are Oxycontin and Vicodin. Some examples of depressants are Xanax and tranquilizers. And some examples of stimulants are Adderall and pain relievers.
What's up?
Street names for opioids are Happy Pills, Hillbilly, and Heroin. Street names for depressants are Barbs, Zombie Pills, Sleeping Pills, and street names for stimulants are Skippy, Smart Drug, or Speed.
How do prescription drugs affect the mind? Opioids act by attaching to a specific protein called opioid receptors, which are found in the brain, spinal cord, gastrointestinal tract, and other organs in the body. When these drugs attach to their receptors, they reduce the perception of pain. Opioids can also produce drowsiness, mental confusion, nausea, constipation, and, depending upon the amount of the drug taken, can depress respiration.
Some short-term effects are drowsiness, slowed breathing, constipation, unconsciousness, nausea, and comas. Long-term abuse can result in physical dependence and addiction. The body adapts to the presence of the drug in the body, and withdrawal symptoms occur if use is reduced or stopped. Withdrawal results in muscle and bone pain, insomnia, diarrhea, vomiting, and cold flashes. Long-time users must also increase their dose so they can achieve the same high.
Treating prescription drug addictions.
Treatment must take into account the type of drug used, the consistency of their tolerance.
Successful treatment may need to incorporate several components such as detoxification, counseling, and sometimes the use of addiction medications.
The two main categories of drug addiction treatment are behavioral and pharmacological. We should definitely go to college together.
We
or something.
should.
Cousins for
We
life,
should
man.
dorm together.
We should.
Someone
We're
just
gonna
died.
join
You're talking
together.
about future.
Oh, right. How about you go grab us some drinks?
Sure.
He's so slow at everything. Is this all? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah. Okay. Here. Thanks.
Can I get the big cup?
Because you're a big boy. Anyways. Yeah.
you guys are so funny.
We are, right? Let me go. I'll be back. Just have some, cousin time.
Rodrigo, it's okay. We're here for each other, Rodrigo.
Oh,
It's okay.
why he died?
It's okay. Everyone has to go sometime. It's okay, Rodrigo.
No, it's not okay.
It's okay.
He loves me. I love them. Oh.
It's okay. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Why you gotta be like that?
So don't freak out, but, we usually just, pop one. It doesn't really do anything to you. I promise.
It makes it better.
Okay?
Okay.
He really loved him.
He really
Yeah, he really did. Here, grab one.
Well, they give him one. I need two.
Oh, okay. Are you sure you want to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know what? We should just put some music on and ease the mood, no?
Okay.
I really like the song by Lil Wayne, some new artist or something.
But Drake.
I'll just put Lil Wayne.
Just that time.
What do you want to listen to?
Drink.
What song?
Truffle butter. Truffle butter.
I think the alcohol is really doing something to your mind.
Oh my god.
What? I don't even know what he's saying.
Truffle butter.
He's so weird.
Truffle butter.
He's so weird.
It's truffle butter. You never had a truffle butter?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Put legend.
Anyway, it's getting a little late.
Legend. That's fine.
I'm getting really tired, guys. I think I'm gonna head out.
Truffle
Are
butter.
you sure?
Yeah.
We should just spend the night.
All right, but I'm just gonna go.
Like, lie down?
Mhm.
Okay.
Bye. Can we put legend?
Rodrigo. Really? Are you
Yeah.
serious? Hey, Em, we're gonna go out. You wanna come? Rodrigo, Emily's knocked down on the couch.
Let her sleep.
Okay. Emily, wake up. Emily. Rodrigo, call 911. Emily isn't waking up.
What?
Emily isn't waking up. She's not waking up. Call 911.
Emily.
Being that they're prescribed her, it was easy to justify to myself that I was probably the kind of guy who needed this kind of thing, and it was okay.
At school, I didn't really remember the day, or it made the day go by really quickly. So I got them as often as I could, and I took them as often as I could.
They tend to blur reality quite a bit, and the days sort of run into one another. Days turn into weeks, that turn into months, and you don't realize it just sort of slips away from you.
Because I wasn't experiencing anything that I cared about in life. I didn't have any feelings. I didn't have any emotions.
Kind of like lulled myself into a false sense of security, feeling like I was getting away with stuff, even though I'd still have to deal with it when I came down.
You're constantly high, so you're not yourself. You're not the person that anyone in your life knew you as. You're some stranger to them, and you're mean.
I would steal from my mom, I would steal from my brother, I would act out at family functions, I'd make a fool of myself, I would embarrass them, I would tell them things that I didn't mean, be very hateful.
And it got to the point where my family kicked me out of the house and weren't willing to have me around when I was taking it because of how violent I would get.
Painkiller Abuse by Austin Fracht.
The Food and Drug Administration approves new powerful opioid-based painkillers.
The U.S. is in midst of an epidemic of opioid overuse.
More than 16,000 people died in 2010 from opioid overuse.
Hydrocodone and acetaminophen become the most prescribed medication in the U.S.
Policymakers are wrestling with ways to address the addiction that is caused by high rates of opioid prescribing, while still permitting adequate access to these medications for patients who need them.
Misconception: I would have to take a lot of painkillers and drink a lot of alcohol to overdose.
It may not take much. Prescription painkillers and alcohol both depress breathing. Using them could cause you to slip into a coma and die.
Joseph John Rivero III was only 21 when he died December 18, 2009. He took Xanax, oxycodone, and alcohol. The cause of death was mixed drug toxication.
Only addicts misuse or abuse prescription drugs, and I'm not an addict.
Many people who misuse or abuse painkillers started off with legitimate prescriptions for an injury or after surgery.
Kumler was the age of 42 when he died on July 1st, 2011. The substance he was taking were hydrocodone and clonazepam. The cause of death was mixed drug toxication.
I found some oxycodone in my mom's medicine cabinet, left over from an old prescription. I thought it was okay to use for my migraine.
Never take pills that are not prescribed for you. You cannot be sure what the dosage is right for your weight or health background.
Emily Jackson was the age of 18 when she died on August 18, 2006. She took one single dose of OxyContin, and the cause of her death was respiratory depression.
Because they are prescribed by my doctor and dispensed by a pharmacist, prescription drugs are safe.
Prescription drugs are safe if you use them as prescribed for you. Using them differently could cause complications or worse, an overdose.
Matthew Absher was 25 years old when he died on August 22, 2006, using the substance methadone. Cause of death was respiratory depression.
It is safe to increase my dosage of prescription pills without counseling with my doctor.
Never increase your medication dose on your own. If you feel like your medication is not working, speak with your doctor about a more effective treatment.
Brendan Absher was the age of 26 when he died on May 15, 2010. He took Ativan and alcohol, and the cause of death was asphyxiation.
America is in the throes of a prescription drug epidemic. More people die every day from that addiction than gunshot wounds, car accidents, or suicide, with hundreds of people losing their lives daily as a result of misusing medication. The National Institution of Drug Abuse has some pretty shocking statistics detailing just how bad America's addiction has become. For example, the U.S., which holds 5% of the world's population, is responsible for 75% of the global prescription drug use. 52 million people over the age of 12 have used the medication for purposes outside of what they were intended for. Enough painkillers were prescribed in 2010 to medicate every American adult every 4 hours for a month. Over half of these pills are obtained for free from a friend or a family member. There are 5.1 million abusers of painkillers, 2.2 who illegitimately take tranquilizers, and 1.1 million needlessly popping stimulants.
Colors that fill the room with delight and also bright. More than enough for everyone to use, but mostly teens are the ones to abuse. Why oh why do teens use so many drugs? Is it to stop the pain and the pitiful hugs? To stop the pain and the misery from their lives, or to become popular and be a part of the hive? Enlightenment for a minute or two, sorrow, grief, and death is brought to who? To the user of this thing that makes people want to cling onto it as if it were the only way to feel happy and alive. But to others it seems sad how a person would thrive so much for something the size of a pebble, trying to act like rebels, taking those pills, feeling like they're going up a hill, but all it takes is that one blow to go to the lowest of low. Here's a song that describes what it feels like to be addicted to prescription drugs.
I Feel Like Dying by Lil Wayne.
Swimming laps around a bottle of Louis XIII. Jumping off of a mountain into a sea of codeine. I'm at the top of the top, but still I climb. And if I should ever fall, the ground will then turn to wine. Pop, pop, I feel like flying, then I feel like frying, then
Peaches?
Farmies. And by the time you realize that you've started doing it pretty frequently, you're going to be physically addicted, and then you're at a point where you can't stop even if you want to.
Every prescription drug has an effect on you. That's why doctors give them to people. Some people think that because drugs come from a doctor, they're safe. But taking them for recreational use to get high can be just as dangerous and addictive as taking street drugs.
A pill can have a totally different reaction on you than the person it was prescribed for. So a drug that's okay for somebody else could be dangerous for you. Because of potential for abuse and addiction, the DEA puts many prescription drugs in the same category as opium and cocaine.
They're made obviously by pharmaceutical companies.
There's basically 4 different categories: depressants, opiates, and morphine derivatives, stimulants, and antidepressants. They come in capsules, tablets, and liquids.
A lot of people think that taking a prescription medication is okay because it's not illegal. But the truth is that taking a prescription drug or giving a prescription drug is a form of using drugs or drug dealing.
The first time I ever took Xanax was with friends. They just had some and I was curious.
I was curious and I had a friend that just told me about it and I wanted to try it and I tried it.
It was in high school. I remember one of my friends had gotten a tooth pulled, I think it was, and got a prescription of them.
He had an entire bottle, and he was just telling me what it was and if I wanted to try it, and I just went for it.
I was introduced to it by a friend of mine that actually was going to see a psychiatrist to get it.
I was just hearing all of these good things, or these fun things. It's like you're drunk and you don't have to drink. It's like, oh, they must be great. I'll try one.
It's like, okay, well, here, take these. You'll have a great night. You're gonna feel really good, and it's gonna be totally fine.
My best friend in high school, she gave me one because her boyfriend used to take them, and she thought that they made her more comfortable around him and more secure about herself, and so she was like, hey, try one,
I'd try anything that anybody had, just test out different prescriptions, and it just kept moving up.
I wasn't picky about what kind I took, whether it was Klonopin or Xanax or Valium. So many of my friends were getting it prescribed from psychiatrists, and they were going to 2 or 3 different ones a month, so we had a pretty steady flow of it.
I started going to doctors and, telling them a lie about trying to get Xanaxes, telling them that I couldn't concentrate at school, or I was just nervous or not comfortable around anybody. Then I would start getting prescriptions.
The people who want you to buy these drugs don't care. They really don't care about what happens to you. They want the money, and that's really what it comes down to. Otherwise, they just wouldn't do it. They wouldn't make it sound so good. They wouldn't make it sound so interesting. They wouldn't make it sound like this thing that it's gonna be this one-time fun thing.
If I knew what the side effects and the consequences, and if I knew that I was going to be the way I was, there would be no way that I would have ever taken Xanaxes, because still to this day, I have a lot of regrets.
The biggest danger of it is seriously the word of mouth. People talk about it and always talk good about it because they think it's okay, it's not going to hurt you. But it's just as hard on you as a cocaine would be. Eventually it gets to where it grabs hold of you and sucks you in.
Just because it's readily available, or just because you can get it from your doctor, or just because your mom has it in the medicine cabinet or whatever, doesn't make it okay, and it doesn't mean that it's safe.
I remember when I was little, you got TV saying just say no. I'm like, okay, just say no, whatever. But nobody ever says this is gonna kill you. This is gonna take your life away. This is gonna make your family hate you. It's gonna make your girlfriend hate you. It's gonna make life a living hell. I probably would have listened to him.